going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Super Princess Peach. And I thought I opened the episode with a new title screen for to just show the purposes of it and how different times of day how it works. So this is the morning one, and I would have released this in the morning, but I had some other things that I had to do yesterday. So I apologize for that. We're going to be going into Giddy Skies. So, yeah, this is actually one of my favorite worlds, actually, which is kind of surprising in a way, but there's a lot to unravel and see here, so we're going to just see what we can get through the first 4 levels of this world, and let's just get things going with the shop quickly, as we are going to buy, oh, we can't buy it yet, so, natural power. I guess we'll have to see what happens at the end of this world, basically, right? Guess we'll find out. Well, anyways. We have not a lot to talk about. Probably just a few things to talk about. Probably just one big topic altogether. And it's gonna be kind of daunting in a way. But basically, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing with a lot of news and just sharing in the media of everything that's been happening here, pretty much just in general, I think just enjoying video games or gaming in general, it is dead, basically. And I know it's kind of not really the most giddy thing to be saying. In fact, it's more gloomy than giddy. Because the unfortunate part with at least it's more on the unfortunate part with how things are going, and just I guess once I'm done talking about that, I can also talk about misinformation being spread around, and it's kind of freaking stupid in a way, because there's just a lot of lies and whatnot. I mean, it has been happening for years, unfortunately, but I just want to at least bring something big going, and just kind of grab your attention for a bit, and just try to slow you down, because it's you don't want to end up like that Koopa Troopa right there that's just pissed off, and but it is what it is. The thing is with gaming in general, it seems like the console wars and everything in between in that one, it just seems like in that department, if you're gonna be gaming in general, you might as well be a billionaire, and might as well just lock yourself the flip in and not have a life basically until you're the age of 30 or even 35, because buying video games and whatnot is becoming more and more expensive, and it just seems like we've reached an era where video games are pretty much being ranked as how good they are, and it's just standardized oh, this is how much video games are, and the prices are just being raised up, and a lot of good points on the internet that I've been seeing and whatnot, just how things are working out, and people are just being greedy with money in general, and it's just a lot of greed going around, and it's really ticking me off in a way. And it's one of those things I just have to bring to light, because it's not something where I just don't rant about, but it's one of these rants today where it's gonna be kind of informal, but it's something to bring to light. But there is also some good news in this, so this is not all negative. In a sense, it's not negative Mario Master 7 episode. It's not negative Mario Master 7 episode or something like that. Probably shouldn't have made that the joke, sorry. So, with the whole point of this, with this episode, by the way, those balloons are kind of a reference to Yoshi's Island, so another Yoshi's Island reference here. I really like the references we have in this in this game. It's actually kind of impressive, in a way. So it's pretty cool, in my opinion. So I guess without further ado, let's actually start ripping the Band-Aid off. So as I'm still talking about it in a way, right? So we've come to a point in society where things are just kind of what's the word I'm looking for? We've come to a point where you know, RAM is like very hard to find. In fact, like I even heard like famous YouTubers out there that like, you know, like, oh, if you want to just build a PC, like it'll cost $1,000. I actually was about to save up $1,000 on the side, just like, you know, casually. And when I mean casually, I mean like this is like I can casually just spend this much and there's no consequence behind it. So the record that I'm trying to state with that is that I look back at it, it's like, well, now I'm gonna have to save $2,000, where it's like to the point where there's not gonna be a consequence, right? And the reason why I'm saying that is because, and I'm not saying like what I mean by consequence, like no consequence to it, it's like, it is still a huge spend in a way, but it's more of a spend where it's like, okay, I worked my butt off for this, and I'm not gonna just like take that for granted, you know? Obviously, like, there's gonna be a consequence if I break the console or break the PC or whatnot, obviously, that I built. And if I don't know how to build a PC, it's not like something where I can't just like, you know, like, oh yeah, I'll just wing it, we'll be fine. Like, no, it's gonna require some skill and whatnot. And obviously, like, you can learn. It doesn't take a genius to do everything like that. I mean, you just have to just learn how to build it and whatnot, and just kind of go from there. It's not too hard in a sense. So like it's like, and I've seen comments like, yeah, it's gonna cost about like $2,000, maybe $2,500 to even build a PC, and it's like, it's kind of daunting in a way for those that want to invest in it. And as I said this before, like basically, if you want to build a PC or do anything with PC gaming, you're gonna have to basically be a rich billionaire now, or a millionaire in a sense, because, or just be rich in general. Because the thing is, like, things are just like going up in cost and whatnot here and there. I mean, have you seen the gas prices lately? Like, it's really crazy. And I don't want to get into that on why. It's just like, you know, that's just what it is. It's just what's being brought to light. A lot of things are just being brought to light here in terms of like costs and like, hey, we can't just be spending, you know, stuff all willy-nilly. Like, it's nothing. You know, it's not something to just take lightly. I don't think it's anything to take lightly at all. In fact, I think it's something where you should take seriously in consideration of like, hey, like, let's not just joke around about this. Like, we can joke, honestly, we can joke about this. Like, it's gonna be funny anyway. But at the same time, it's kind of like one of those, like, you know, one of those memes where like you see like what was it, like, it was like that Steve Harvey meme where he's like laughing and then you see like kind of like a faded version of him where he's just kind of like sitting forward like, oh shoot, and he's like, yeah buddy, that's the truth. It's funny, you can laugh all you want, but it's the truth, and it's not exactly the most you know, it's not exactly the most you know, obviously it's not the most like happy thing to see, and you know, you just have to sit and wonder. It's like, oh shoot, like, is this really gonna happen for real? Like, yeah, this is actually happening for real. I'm sorry that I'm failing constantly to get up there, so that's just gonna be running, by the way. It's okay, because there's a lot to still talk about in a way. Or really a lot to rant out about. And, you know, a lot of things that I want to, like, talk to Annie about in a way, too. He'll be here for the finale, for possibly, maybe not, I don't know, we'll see. I have to double check with him today, to see if we're good for a recording session. But, I'm pretty sure he'll be. I mean, if you don't see him in the next video, then, well, then that's your answer right there. But yeah, finale will be this Wednesday, I believe. I'm gonna just kind of leave it out there as a kind of like a teaser by Friday that, hey, the finale's happening soon. Kind of like a semi thing, like kind of like, I don't know. We'll see. But I don't want to spoil too much about this game. Yeah, I mean, obviously you've seen this game probably a bunch of times, and then there's like a lot of unused content with this game that I still want to talk about. And I'll leave that for a separate video, in a sense, once we actually get towards the end of this, you know, of this game, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, we're technically already heading towards the end of the game, right? Like, we're about to reach the, like, that lap before the final lap kind of thing. So it's okay, you know, I'm not, you know, nothing's in ill will with this game and all, you know, like, there's some things, yeah, there's some stuff it can improve on, obviously, here and there, but it's not like bad by any means. Like, it could be a bit more difficult and like you know, a little bit more not like, yeah, nothing too crazy, but it could just be a little bit more tedious in a sense, but it's okay, you know. So back to the topic at hand. So we've come across games where like just like you know, like I guess I'm kind of going backwards on how I'm seeing like well, from recently, like Furtana's news, I'm kind of going backwards on the news that's being spread about how just like how pretty much a lot of, you know, certain corporations just kind of won against this company in a way on how to actually profit about these things, because big companies and big corporates are just being absolutely ridiculous and absolutely yeah, so absolutely stupid on purpose. I'll say the word. I usually would just say the word at this point, but knowing how YouTube is acting with this word recently, I'm gonna just kind of keep myself on the down low and being around the bush this one time. I really want to say this word. I'm itching, but it's fine. Like, it's just, you know, you got people acting stupid on purpose. That's basically what they are. So that's just my opinion about people like that. But basically, let's go. Former Nintendo sales lead convince they'll have to increase the price, according to like one of the news here, which I'll probably leave in the description down below. So unfortunately, I think eventually the hardware prices is going to have to go up, explained Sean, adding that the company does seem to be attempting to migrate or mitigate the increase as best as they can. Sorry. That's the word I was okay. I didn't know how to pronounce it. Sorry. But one prime example is that wait, the game. Oh, okay, we're making sure. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me, because this is not something where I just joke about. This is not funny. So one prime example in there, Move On Software, which it is reportedly a way make a hardware price increase a little bit more palatable. Notably, Nintendo has decided to make their digital games cheaper than the physical ones in the US to both encourage fans to buy digital and limit their production of cartridges due to the increased costs. Basically, we're kind of just killing the fact and just kind of killing the instance of being able to own things anymore, like physically. It just seems very, you know, it's just not a. I don't like that. I really don't like that. Because you think about this. Like, you grew up in the 90s, and you had an SNES and Nintendo 64, and you have cartridges, you know. Obviously, DLC wasn't exactly a thing, but remakes were a thing back then too. And, you know, it's cool to see those things. But it's like, at that point, why are we... what are we doing here? Like, it just seems like, what are we building up to at this point? It doesn't seem like we're building up to something great. In fact, the reason why they're trying to squeeze more money is because they're squeezing money to, you know, be able to afford the good lawyers. And, like, I'll admit one thing from Nintendo, they do have pretty good lawyers on how to defend, you know, certain things, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like they're using their money properly. And like certain other companies, they're just, you know, they're just not using their money properly. And the reason why I say so will be shared upon a little in a bit, but. Like, later on, like to add on to the comment of the news. However, as Sean added, even if they are able to make concessions in some areas, hardware prices are going to go up, I think, eventually. He did assure fans that they may be able to put off raising hardware prices for a moment, thanks to the production of Nintendo merch and other sales for products that aren't hardware. But he did warn fans that he thinks it's inevitable that they are going to go up for the first time. So it seems like basically, like, if you don't own a Switch 2 and you want to waste your money on a console, go ahead. Now's your time to go buy one before you waste even more money on something like this. Because the thing with Nintendo is their productivity is like they're going to share. And I've said this time and time again before about Nintendo, and this is like, yes, people have hate, whatever, Nintendo hate. I'm just trying to be neutral and realistic about these situations and things like that, because this isn't something where it's just like, oh, like, yeah, everything's gonna be gumdrops and rainbows and lollipops here. It's not. This is the real situation that we have at hand here. They're selling toys, they're selling movie tickets to movies, and I don't know how much of a cut they're getting exactly from that, because Paramount. What was it? No, not Paramount. Sorry, not Paramount. Illumin. I'm not gonna hear that. This if I ever get popular, anyway, get too popular, we're kind of like, oh, you mixed up Paramount and Illumination. How stupid are you? Like, all right, relax now, relax. So with Illumination, like, how much of a cut they're gonna get from being able to have the privilege to even, I mean, the way they're saying it is like, oh, it's such a privilege to be able to do something like this, and it's like, yeah, I get you, buddy, but at the same time, you have to realize your worth too. You should actually get some sort of a cut from this at the same time. This isn't something where we just, yeah, they can take all the money and what. Like, nah, that's not funny, man. Like, you should get some sort of cut too. If I'm gonna make something and collab with somebody, I should get some sort of percentage of cut of it. That's why whenever you see, like, and here's the prime example of that. Whenever Manny GM and I collab by doing like a recording session together while he co-commentates the gameplay to some degree, as best as he could, you'll see his channel mark at the end of this, at the end of the screen, and I will tell you guys to subscribe to him as well, because that's part of his pay cut. If any of you watch my content and see that, oh, he has a friend here, does he have a YouTube channel as well? Yes, he does. Check it out if you wanted to see like some of his content. If you'd like to hear his rants about certain things, he does stuff about Mario Kart, video games, analysis, and I think he recently just released. Recently released another video, which I'm gonna hold off on checking out first, because I haven't seen the Mario movie myself yet, but I will be seeing it this Saturday. But from what I've been hearing from from a lot of people, there's a lot of negative light and a lot of mixed reviews with it. Like, a lot of people are saying like, oh, this is just Nintendo hate, blah blah blah. People are stupid and whatnot. While others are kind of just like, oh no, this is kind of accurate, and then others are just like, no, I feel neutral about the movie, I feel mixed, I feel something. So we're gonna see how I feel about the movie in about a week or so from now, because this is, obviously I'll probably talk about it in, I'll probably talk about it at some point. Obviously, this is not something that I'll just leave. Like, I am leaving it in the back of the head, like back of my mind for a little bit, because my rule of thumb, at least, I think it's only fair that I talk about this to some degree, and I probably should have taken this rule for video games too, because that was my bad for not doing so. So if you guys are just kind of holding off to watching the Koopaling analysis and whatnot that I have for the Super Mario Bros. Wonder, that's completely okay, because I actually agree with this statement. But I don't know what you guys agree with in terms of like spoilers and whatnot, but I think like a good month, maybe 2 weeks, 2 weeks to a month. Like, if you haven't watched the content in the month, then that's on you. All the spoilers are fair at that point, because I would say, like, personally, like, if you're going through content, or if you're gonna be shared certain things here and there, then it's like, dude, I'm not waiting a whole year for you to react to something. If you had, you can make time for it. People have been kind of talking about it, like, oh, let me go check it out. that's me saying, hey, look, I haven't checked it out on the 1st of April. But I will be checking it out this weekend because that is the time that I have available to go check it out and see it with some people. It's not like something I'm just gonna like, oh, wing it to the side and just not, you know, see it. It's not something where it's like, oh, like whatever. Let's just hold it off and let's just, you know, like let's have a night, you know, where we do certain things here and there. I think it's only fair. So in reality, like, I will be talking about the Mario movie maybe a week or two from now. That's something I'm gonna wait on. It might be a week from today's video. It might be 2 weeks from now. But I feel like it's fair game if I talk about it in a week from now. I think that's fair game because I haven't, like I said, I'm trying to spoil. I'm trying to be kind of spoiler free, but I pretty much seen half the movie with the trailers that were already out already. Not all, and I've only seen like 20% of the trailers. So I've been spoiled quite a lot with like how everyone is just like talking about certain things. And there is a video that I'm saving for a watch later, just to see like, okay, there's a concept that what if this was in the movie? I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? I'm gonna save this for when I actually like finish watching the movie and whatnot, and I'll watch it afterwards because this might be funny. And there's like little jabs at certain YouTubers as well with this movie from what I've heard. And I did see like a picture of it, so I was like, oh flip, like I spoiled myself in a way. And I like how I got this stupid turnip. So yeah, that's just my view on it. But in the sense of this, like I know I'm kind of ranting here, but that's just like my opinion on Nintendo and how like they're just spending their products, they're spending their, you know, sorry, I didn't mean to talk about the movie too much, but it was just like, okay, yeah, they're getting their profits from the movies currently right now, and they're getting their profits from toys, marketables, and whatnot. However, it seems like the money that they're spending outward, like what the like, you know, their earnings, they're spending it outward towards lawsuits and everything else, try to gain more money in some really stupid ways. It's like, so here's the problem with that, okay? Another company's doing pretty much a similar thing, and it's like, you're stupid for this. They absolutely are stupid for this, because here's what we're bringing out to. You wanna know who's also stupid for this? Sony. Sony's stupid for this. You wanna know why Sony is stupid for this? Well, here, let's look together. Let's learn about communication. Okay. By the way, if you're married, communication is a huge key. I think it's a huge key in my opinion. If you don't communicate with your spouse about certain things are just gonna kind of be like not going to go too great. So that's just my opinion on that, you know. So Sony updates, you know, Nix's text on the official website highlight PC ports without any limitations on service games. Sony updates the PlayStation PC website with new and upcoming PC games and internal photos of major first-party titles. The faculty at the bottom of the page not only does not deny future games are coming out, but also leave a stay tuned for updates. It's worth remembering that in recent days, the director of Sarah's Doge questions about the game's PC release. Ghost of Yotai celebrated its 6-month anniversary this week. TikTok. And it seems here that they're not going to invest, like Sony, they're not going to invest into PC anymore. They're not going to invest their money into PC. They're not going to invest their money into like being able to play PlayStation games on PC anymore. That's just out the window. Who, by the way, from a CEO who's just not a gamer at all. Like, okay. And I don't know. In my opinion, I think you gotta know your audience and be able to relate to your audience if you're gonna be able to do things a certain way. And not, like, screw things up. Obviously, you're gonna screw up here and there. But this is where, like, these companies, like Nintendo and Sony, and I forgot the other one, but they're gonna pretty much just shoot themselves in the foot because they're spending money by putting things into investments that are pretty much just kind of just like not going so well, not going so hot. In fact, they're not going so well into a point where it's like, you know, it's like not worth the price in a way. Where it's just like, it's kind of blowing back up in their face where it's like, it's a waste of money now. And that's not good, because if it comes to a waste, if it's becoming a waste of money to do certain things, like putting investments into like lawsuits, putting into video games that are not going to sell well, that's where you have a problem. And so, you know, they're just investing money and wasting money away onto stupid things that they think, the audience are gonna like it. No, they're not gonna like it. Unfortunately, they're not gonna like it. And you're seeing it firsthand, and you're not listening to your audience. And it's like, okay, well, there's certain instances where you shouldn't listen to your audience. Fine, whatever. You can think and have an opinion on that matter whatsoever. Like whatever. I'm not gonna like crap you for it. But it's like you have one of those things, like it's like those situations where it's like, what are you guys doing with your time and money? Why are you blowing it on stupid things? They're blowing it off on stupid things, and it's really, really like, it reminds me of like the average Joe or average person that's just like, oh, let's just spend my money on this because, you know, I want it now. Let's spend my money on this because it's ethical. Like, no, it's not at all, dude. You're being an absolute stupid idiot, and you need to like stop right now, because there's a certain company that's just like pretty much in a way like there's like this one quote from a comment that someone said that I saw recently, like, and they thought nothing was impossible to do, but I do nothing every day, says Sony. Or not says Sony, says Valve. Possibly. You know, Valve may say this, possibly. By the way, I have some dialogue to read, so give me 1 second. Do you know what a hot air balloon is? It's a strange device that uses fire to float in the air. So, you see those stupid fuzzballs that are flying around in the air in the back, like, you know, next to the, you know, the, what was it, the balloon right there? So, you know, when you use your vibe against them with fire, it's obviously like they're not affected at all. But guess what happens when I decide to land the balloon safely and then try to cross it? I get juked out, so I have to try again. So we're gonna be here for a while when I try to do this, because it's not gonna be a too successful one. So I want to keep ranting on about that, about this a little bit. Because this is like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep ranting about this because it's fun. Like, you're gonna see me try like twice more before I actually make it up there. So back to like what I was saying, like from a tweet that about Sony specifically, and it's like CEO Hiroki Toki, in an interview with Bloomberg, says that he is not a big gamer, discusses Sony's pivot for the consumer electronics company to an entertainment company. We were forced to change. Sony CEO outlines shifts to entertainment and says PS5 must be the best place to play. We are always talking about PlayStation should be the best place to play for the user's perspective, but also we must be the best place to publish. We have a relationship with third-party gamers, publishers, and of course we have great studios as a first-party as well. Which is completely stupid in my opinion, because we see things of the sorts like this happen, And we had to think to ourselves, like, okay, like, do you realize what you just said? Like, no, like, really, like dissect exactly what he said there. Forced to change? That was your decision, buddy. That wasn't like a force to change. You can change back and say, hey, we're gonna flip and invest into our, you know, we're gonna invest into our, like, consumers and, you know, not raise anything up because we were stupid with our money. And it's like, look, you gotta listen to, like, what the media, what people actually want in video games. They don't want transgender stuff. They don't want Lettuce Bacon Tomato Club and they're like, you know, they don't want any of that representation and force shoved down your throat in video games and such. And I'm sure companies are not caring too much this year on, like, trying to shove down this Lettuce Bacon Tomato Club this year. Because it's like one of those things where, and I'm serious, I don't care about that either. If you want to go hate on me on this, I don't give a flip. I give half of a rat's flip. I'm flipping butt right now. I really don't care. If you want to hate on me for that, then go away then. This channel ain't for you. Like, you can have your opinions and whatnot, just keep them away from me, alright? So, as I was saying before, and you want to get political with me, we can I don't know, we can talk. I don't know. I guess you can't really talk to me, can you? Well, not my problem. It's freedom of speech in this freaking country where I'm at, so I don't give a flip on what you guys say to me back on. Oh, my gosh, he doesn't support this. You want the truth? No, I don't. I don't support this. I'm a Christian. Alright? And if you don't care, like, to, like, just respect that opinion alone, like, I'm not gonna sit here and try to bash you in the head to, like, disagree with everything that's going on with the Lettuce Bacon Tomato Club. If you wanna support it, go ahead. I'm not gonna care, but don't force me to support it. All right? That's your stuff. You can support that on your own. I don't really care. Just don't ask me to, like, having to be there and foot for that. Because I'm not here to people please, and I hate to be a people pleaser. So, anyways, back to the thing here. Back to the topic at hand with how gaming is going to be dead soon in a way, because the magical part of, like, being able to game and stuff like that, and being able to afford things like this, it's like it's the pinnacle of, like, okay, do I spend $300 on groceries, or on my, and part of it on my rents? Not that saying that, I don't know where rent's at right now, but, like, let's just I'm trying to be realistic here, okay? Do I spend $300 on food and necessities and whatnot, or do I spend it on video game? What do you think? Or, sorry, that was probably the most stupid example I probably could have used. Let me try this again. I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry. This is gonna be kind of raw recording, because I'm trying to get this out, but at least, you know, I'm talking about something worth the while to talk about. But, like, you have $60, you need food, okay? Are you gonna spend it on food this month, or are you going to spend it on a video game? Well, I don't think I'm gonna be spending it on a video game. Let's be honest here. That's just not gonna happen. It really ain't gonna happen like that. So I'm gonna spend it on my food, because I don't. This video game that's $60, it's not gonna feed me, right? No, it's not gonna feed me. I mean, it probably could feed you content if you're a YouTuber, then yeah, I think it's worth buying $60 something. If you do a live stream on the video game, then yeah, for sure, dude, you can make an extra $200 if you're popular. If you're a popular streamer, then yeah, that'd probably be the wiser decision. But my point is, not everyone's a famous YouTuber. Not everybody's able to do this kind of job inside to be able to do it well. To be successful and say, and have, like, 200 people like, yo, that's cool, dude, whatever this dude's saying, he's speaking facts, and, like, yo, this is actually pretty poggers to say, or pretty, like, amazing. I don't know if anyone says pog anymore, but I'm gonna bring it back. Remember when people yell Among Us? I actually remember when that used to be a thing. I was one of those people that would probably yell that to be a thing, which is kind of funny, because it's, like, fun. It's kind of fun. It was kind of funny at the time, but when I realized it was more of, like, a like a Marco Marco kind of meme. It's like, okay, this is kind of like a repeat of like the stupid number joke and the chicken jockey joke that happened last year. Along with that, it's like, yeah, at this point, it's just kind of like stupid. Like, you bring the joke up, but I just, you know, I'm not trying to bring Among Us back too much because, like, I mean, that was the joke of the year from when did I start? It was probably when I started this channel in a way, right? Well, maybe not when I started this channel, but like when I started like actually like doing like Let's Plays and whatnot, right? Like, my first episode was like Super Mario Sus on the, you know, there's an imposter Among Us. That was the joke because it's an Among Us joke, and I thought that was funny. Now I'm older and I'm just like, I'm finding less of these jokes funny or less meme jokes funny because it's just kind of stupid. And, you know, I don't want to just, you know, I don't want to like kind of like be that guy where it's just like things are just kind of like whatever. But, you know, it is whatever. It is whatever. And we're going to have to just deal with it from time to time, and it's going to be even worse where we've come to a point in time where you can rent you can literally rent a PlayStation 5. But get this, you don't get to own it ever. You're going to rent a product and you're never going to own it, and you're going to be happy. That's just how it's going to be from now on. Never think about owning anything because you're never going to own it. It's never going to be owned. Big corporates are going to own it, and that's who's going to own it. You're never going to own products ever again. So that's the sad reality out there, and it's like, you know, it's a sad and depressing reality, but we can also like kind of like look back at the things that we do own and just probably just keep expressing ourselves through that and enjoy the current products that we have that we do actually currently own. Like this game, for instance. This game I actually do own, and I play it from time to time whenever I feel like it. And you know, it's one of my favorite games, so I play from time to time. It's not something I just don't play. I actually do play it. So let's get on to the next topic, which is probably going to be a short segment on this part. But a lot of misinformation is just being spread around, and it needs to stop in a way, because the reason why I think it needs to stop is simply because, like, you're pretty much deceiving people, and it's obviously like a sin in a way. Oh, I'm not trying to like delegate you onto like being judgmental, but it's just like you're deceiving people, you're hurting people, and it's gonna hurt a lot of people, like physically, emotionally, and mentally in the long run. And these things are just not going to, you know, they're just not going to like pretty much pass by or, you know, let off the hook that easily, because it's not something to be let off the hook on. It's not cool. It really isn't. It's not. I don't think it's cool at all. It's not. It really isn't. And the reason why I say so is because it's. I mean, it is the truth. It really. I mean, that's the truth. It's just not. It's hurtful. It's deceiving. It's conniving. It's in bad faith. And you know, people just need to stop it. And you know, you put these things back online, and you have the technology that's pretty much advancing to some point, and you have all these things that are happening with this whole like situation, and you just like you have to come to acceptance to like, oh, okay, like whatever, that's fine, we can accept this. Like, no, I don't want to accept this. I don't want to accept any lies. I don't like when people just lie like that, because it's, you know, that's news and stuff like that, where people use news to bring people fear, and that's what, like, you know, like at least some people at the top would try to do, is try to bring fear to people, which, you know, it's kind of just, you know, it's sad, because we're supposed to be there for each other and help each other out in a sense, but like we're doing the exact opposite by not helping these people at all. And by doing that, it's not only is it deceiving and it's hurting people, but it's something where if it's believed upon, like, it will hurt the person that's spreading these lies in the long run. You know, like It's not cool. It just isn't cool. Period. You know. And I wouldn't, you know, like, I'm someone who made fibs, like, here and there, like, in childhood, whatever, sure. But I've realized it's hurt people a lot, and I don't, you know, like, lying's just not something that, you know, like, I don't like that being a natural thing, you know? It's not cool. It hurts people, and it's like, I don't know how anybody can just lie, because like it makes more work on them, on the person that's lying, than it is on the person that's telling the truth. Because when you tell the truth on something, it's like, that's probably the easiest thing you can do, is just tell the truth about what happened. You know, you just tell the truth, and that's what happened. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's valid to say. Like, you're telling the truth. Okay, what else happened? That? Okay, cool. You know, and then that's just, you know, you go from there. Whatever truth has been spoken, you know, you just say it, and then, you know, bada bing, bada boom, things are pretty much good in a sense. In that, you know, in that area. Because, like, you don't have to, like, oh, well, didn't you, like, explain about this part then? Like, it's like, well, to be frank here, this only happened because of this, and it's like, you're covering up something that, oh, you're being deceitful and deceiving, and it's like, oh, well, how are you going to defend this case? Oh, well, I thought this happened. Well, to be fair, this, like, and it's just like, you're lying, dude. You're lying. We can see that you're lying. You're BSing it. Let's just move on. Tell the truth. What really happened? Okay, is this what really happened? Okay, well, I don't trust you anymore, and I can't really trust you to say the truth at the first time, because now I'm really gonna have to speculate. Even now, it's not something. You know, like, I don't like people that do that. It's just not right. It really isn't right. And now we have a point where it's like, okay, now we really have to kind of like really look out on this person, and now we have to really like pay attention to make sure that, you know, things are make sure things aren't fake. Because if they are fake, then like, well, we gotta like make sure that, you know, like, if things are fake, like, we gotta make sure that, like, you know, we like fact check everything. Like, we're gonna have to, I mean, we come to a point where we have to fact check everything now, but it's like, I wish we were at a point in time where like people like say stuff and it's like, okay, something's not adding up. Let's ask another question. Oh, okay, well, that makes sense on why you said that. That makes sense. Okay, well, okay, now that you explained that part, I'm like, okay, that's the full truth now. There you go. I'm telling you what needs to be said. And, you know, and these people that want to keep lying about everything, it's just not... It's just never gonna stop, unfortunately, because they want what's favored to their truth and what's favored to them, and not to everybody else. And it's just gonna hurt them in the long run, in my opinion, and it's just gonna hurt everybody else as well. But really, more on the person that's gonna really. I mean, it's kind of shown in what was it? In The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Well, who ended up dying? The Boy Who Cried Wolf, because when the actual wolf actually showed up, guess who flipped and died? Well, the sheep that like were supposed to be tended and looked after, well, they died because they became like the wolf's food, and well, the wolf also saw dessert and said, dessert, let me eat you up too. And he ate and then the wolf ate the boy up, and that's just what happened. And look who like the lies hurt now. The lie hurts that, because throughout the story you see like these people, you know, these people like lie and what, like, or not lie. These people don't lie, but like they get a little hurt. Like, oh, well, I guess we can't really trust this person anymore, can we? Might have to start finding another shepherd to, like, you know, actually tend for the sheep. So while they probably went to go look for that, well, like, oh, there's a wolf. Like, townspeople weren't having it, so they're just like, well, he's gonna learn his lesson. Because we feel too hurt to like even trust him again. And it's like, you are more than right to like feel that way, because let's be honest, it's that kind of punishment where it's like, you know, like they show like the other townspeople that might have kids, they see that kid being like an absolute like jack off in a way, so they're doing that, and you have that happening. It's like, see, kids, that's where you don't lie, because it's like, and it's one of those things where like it creates a problem, right? And it's like one of those things where it's like, when it comes to problems, you want to nip it in the bud right away, and people don't nip things in the bud, unfortunately, nowadays. They just kind of let it mellow out and let the problem get bigger until it's cancerous, where it's like, okay, well, it's gonna take a lot to get rid of this now. You know, and why I mean cancerous, like, think about it like this: like, we are adjusting to the problem and trying to mask it up, and now we have to get rid of it little by little, and it's gonna take more than one person to deal with it. It's gonna take a bunch of people to get rid of the problem. So, yeah, I don't know. That's just. I want to leave this video on a light note, but you know, like, obviously we're at the end of the episode already here, because like I kind of want to leave this for the next episode for Manny. So unless he's not showing up, I'll probably tell you the next video if he shows up. Or actually, you can probably tell from the thumbnail, so never mind. But yeah, I just want to at least, you know, speak about that a little bit, majority of the time, and it's just, you know, gaming's gonna die soon and whatnot, but, you know, it'll forever live in the hearts of people that probably, you know, have video games, you know, from back then, and, you know, we can always, like, you know, reminisce about these things, obviously, too. So it's not, like, something where, you can just, like, it's not something where it's like it's gonna be dead completely. It might not live on to the next generation, but it'll still live in our hearts and minds in a way. If you really kind of like think about it in a like short term aspect. But there's more to life than video games, obviously. Go outside, touch some grass, walk on a trail, go bowling, go biking as well, maybe. It's one of those things. You just gotta find different activities and different hobbies to do. And yeah, just appreciate every moment in life that's being brought onto you. Go get some friends, do stuff, I don't know. Don't do drugs, obviously. But yeah. Always keep yourself guarded to lies. Yeah, keep yourself guarded up onto lies that people try to like mislead you with. And you know, it's not something where it's just like, okay, like, you know, like everyone's trustworthy. Like, just be a little skeptical. I'm always a skeptical person in life, in a way, because, you know, I mean, obviously I have trust issues myself, but, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I think I want to cut this out and call it for today, for this episode, because I've been at Ranton for too long, and we're just on the map screen not doing anything else. So, with that being said, don't forget to shine bright and stay bright.